Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Institutionalized with Dauphin Williams. So today we're going to talk about something a little somber, but it's very important to me. It's going to be veteran suicide. So my goal is to help bring awareness and prevent veteran suicide. If you don't know, about 22 soldiers or veterans commit suicide a day, and also about 8,000 a year. They're more likely to commit suicide, about 200% more likely to commit suicide than the average person, the civilian that you meet on the street. Not saying that other people don't have issues as well, but veterans go through it a lot more, especially with all the medication and the stuff they've seen, especially through combat deployments. So first off, I just want to warn you, it's probably going to get sensitive subject for a lot of people. For me too, I'll probably tear up a little bit, have to pause the tape, put my little transition in there and everything, because I've lost a lot of people that I know to suicide, and it's definitely something that eats at me all the time. It eats at me as much as the people I've lost downrange, because I always want to put myself in the situation, thinking that I could have changed something if I just saw the signs, which a lot of people probably do. Okay. I like to throw some acknowledgement to some people that have passed away because of suicide. TJ Stuckey was in my first unit, 149. We used to have this thing called CQ, which we would watch all the people. NCO or supervisor would watch all the people in the barracks, and you had to be 24 hours. And I didn't have my runner. The runner is usually a lower enlisted that's with you, and who does the odds and ends while you sit there and watch the phone and watch the desk and everything. So TJ Stuckey, he sacrificed his weekend, because it was a weekend, and he came by. It was a Friday night. He came by and hung out with me all night. Didn't even know me, didn't hang out like that or anything, but that's the kind of person he was. Joseph White, he was a soldier with me down in Afghanistan, my first combat deployment, and I really, tell you the truth, I really didn't get along with him that much, but I feel very regretful that I didn't get to know him, because, as we get older, our impressions of people change, things change. It's to hold a grudge, especially with a brotherhood, sisterhood, like the military, people, you know people one day and then the next day they're gone. So it's a shame. Demondre Williams. So I used to have a friend. I still do have a friend, James Williams, back when I was a little kid, and I was stationed in Fort Carson, Colorado, and his nephew was getting stationed there as well. He was a new soldier. He wanted me to look out for him and stuff, and he was going through some stuff. It's a young kid. He had a lot of different ideas about what the military should have been, and he was trying to get out the military. And we bumped heads a couple of times for some things, and it was little stuff. But I had to go to this thing called NTC, National Training Center. It's in Fort Irwin, California. And when you go there as a soldier, you go there for 30 days, pretty much. So I was gone, and he was calling me and stuff. You're not allowed to have electronics. You're not allowed, but people still do. But you couldn't. If you get caught with electronic in NTC, you can get a lot of trouble. And he was trying to get a hold of me. He wanted to talk to me about some stuff, and I was like, "Hey, I'll have to get a hold of you when I get back, because I really can't talk, man." Because I don't know if he realized, but I was at NTC. And the next thing I know, when I come home, I found out that he committed suicide, and it's a shame, because I really feel that, man, if I'd have just took that chance to listen, then maybe he'd have been alive. Maybe it was something I could have helped him out with or something. Riggs, when I was in Fort Carson, a soldier named Riggs, I was equal opportunity specialist, which means I talked about diversity, racism, sexism, the protected categories, religion, things of that sort. And I had briefings, and I instructed everybody about how the Army sees things or whatever. So I remember talking to him that day before, and everything was cool. I was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" Because I also dealt with him, because I worked as a support unit. I would bring his unit and units like his ammo and things of that sort. And I was talking to him. I was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" We used to talk all the time because I used to dip, and he used to give me dip. We were in the field and stuff. We used to, talk about things, and infantry. I'm a support guy, so infantry is just hanging out with support guys and stuff. It was pretty cool. So anyway, he ended up committing suicide that night, and man, like you always look back, and like I said, you think that you could have done something to save that person. So that's my 2 cents as far as that goes. Okay. There's a lot more people that I probably could have mentioned, but I don't think I could. Honestly, I don't think I could make it. So it was already kind of rough. So me myself, I think everybody has thought about suicide in one way or another. When I go into these mental health evaluations, these behavioral health evaluations and stuff, we talk about it. And you got to fill out this paperwork or on the computer, and it says, "Hey, have you thought about suicide? Have you made a plan?" And it's really just a check the block thing that I see with these kind of organizations. And I don't mean to dog them out, but I think a lot of these places get used to the monotony of doing the stuff over and over. And I know I'm making it sound bad as far as monotony goes, but when people get used to doing the same thing over and over and over again, then they get complacent. And I think that a lot of these places, a lot of these people that deal with people day in and day out, they get tired of it. They get used to talking to one person or a certain type of people, and they get used to it, and they clump everybody together. I know they realize that everybody is different, but they treat everybody, they start to clump everybody in the same category and think that people are the same or acting the same. So we really didn't get down to too much of the nitty gritty as far as veteran suicide goes. Really, any suicide is bad. If you want to talk about biblically, if you want to talk about socially, we need you. Don't sell yourself short. We need you. We need the person right next to you. Anybody lost to suicide is an injustice to the world, to everybody else. That's why I say that suicide is selfish. Just by you not being here makes the world a darker place. So remember that. If you get down, you can call me, call a friend, or anybody. So you can tell my voice I'm getting kind of choked up. You are special. You are somebody. Don't ever forget that. Maybe it's just because social media is around now. Maybe it's because it's more readily available, news at your fingertips. But it seems like since social media came about, then suicide is more prevalent. I think it's because you can, like I said, you can see it a lot more. You can hear about it a lot more. The suicide rates a lot more. There was veterans committing suicide way back before social media, but you didn't hear about it at the same extent as you do now. I have thought about it a lot. I've thought about it multiple times and never had a plan, never wanted to go through with it, but I've thought about it. You get pissed off and you think that people don't care about you, or hey, I bet they'll miss me when I'm gone kind of thing, or you think that there's nobody out there who you can talk to. You think about there's nobody who can compare with your situation. You think about how you just want the pain gone. You think the finality of it, that you don't have to worry about anything anymore, about being angry, about being upset, emotional about stuff. So you think about committing suicide. And I think that everybody at one point or another has thought about it. But I think the strong-willed will realize that that's a long-term solution for a short-term problem. All of your problems while you're alive are short-term, because everybody's going to die. Everybody can find a way out of anything that they're going through, for the most part. for even death, for even having cancer, AIDS, things of that sort. You might end up dying anyway, but there's a peace that you bring to everybody else when you go out a certain way. It's hard to explain. I guess those who know, and those who don't. But in regards to soldiers, I think that one of the problems is the military likes to just treat the problem and not find a solution to fix the problem. A wise officer told me one day, and this guy was a crappy officer, but I'm going to throw his name out there too, because I'm out the Army, I don't care. His Lieutenant Kramer, he's Captain Kramer right now, if he's still in. But he told me, look, if you complain about something and you don't think of a solution, then all you're doing is complaining. And at that time, I was like, I was going to complain about what he just told me because I didn't like what he just told me because it made me look like a jackass. But I thought about it and I was like, you know what? This guy's right. If you complain about something and you don't fix the problem, then all you're doing is complaining. So if you have something wrong, if there's a problem, there are different avenues you can go to. You can ask a lot of people. Not just one person has a solution. You might have to ask multiple people. There is a way to be successful or to be at peace. Maybe your vision of success is different than mine. I'm content. If I have a house over my head and everything, I don't have to be rich. I just have to be content, relaxing. I think that with a lot of the sexual harassment, the many cases of sexual assault, I think with the false claims of sexual assault, sexual harassment, I think that escalates people to want to kill themselves. To be accused of something you didn't do and nobody believes you, to not be backed by the organization that you give your life for, not to be backed by them feels some sort of way. I know because I was falsely accused twice for that, and you kind of feel betrayed. You have this hollow feeling in your chest. So relationships, you give your all in a relationship and you just get tired of being pooped on. I'll try to be nice so the younger people can listen. And you, once again, it's a revenge thing too. You're like, well, they're gonna miss me when I'm gone and they don't care about me, things of that sort. I think it really takes, I will say, I don't give a care who I offend, but I think it's selfish to commit suicide. I think it is very selfish to commit suicide. Somebody is going to listen to you out there. There's somebody, they could be a stranger that will listen to your problems. But if you don't give them a chance, then what's the point? That's your fault for not giving them a chance. Communication in anything, communication is big. I think as Americans, as humans, we have a huge problem with communication because we have preconceived notions of what's being macho or being sensitive, or if you do this or that, then you're gay. In a lot of the macho stuff that we do, the toxic masculinity, I don't care. That's stupid to me. Don't buy into that crap. There are many avenues. There are many organizations that you could talk to who will talk to you about suicide and talk to you about your options and try to take you off the cliff, take you from the edge of the building. One of those organizations is 22 Until None. You can find them on Facebook. You do the number 22. I'm pretty sure you can even type it out, 22 Until None. I'm pretty sure they're on Facebook as well. Another organization is the Crisis Hotline, or the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's 1-800-273-8255. Once again, it's 1-800-273-8255. So if you have an issue, then you could talk to somebody there. You could talk to, if you're a person that goes to church. I don't like saying religious, but if there's a person that likes to go to church or has faith, then somebody in regards to that can probably help you out. Your family members can help you out. Your friends can help you out. Heck, you can find me on Facebook, message me. My name is Dauphin Williams. You see my name spelled out in the thing. You can message me on Facebook, and I'll private message you back or something. So there are many avenues, many people you could talk to, but don't take that long-term solution for something that's actually a short-term problem. Okay, I don't even like saying solution, because that means like the solution, that means like it's a right answer to me, but it's not a right answer. So there are many self-help books that you can look at as far as suicide prevention things. If you're having problems and you need some enlightenment, some clarification, other people's perspective, there are a lot of books that you can go to. If you don't want to go to the library and get a book, there's digital books on Amazon you can go to. I'm pretty sure you can even go to places online and get them for free, as far as to help you out with that. There's a helpguide.org you can go to that talks about suicide. I'm going to go down the line. There's cdc.gov, NIMH for your military focus. It's November India Mike Hotel .novemberindiahotel.gov, and that talks about it. You can call 911 and find somebody. It's the main thing to get help. We're losing all these people, to COVID. To what they say it's COVID, but that's another story. We're losing a lot of people to violence. We're losing a lot of people for just being unhealthy and being fat and overweight and not taking care of their health. So the soldiers make it home from deployment, from getting blown up. A buddy of mine, Montoya, he was in the IED, and he was in the truck and had to get dragged out of the truck, and burns all over his body and stuff. And he's turned a lot of stuff around, and he has an organization. I'll probably try to have him on here one day. That really deals with a lot of veterans and stuff. And to give back, he gave everything in the Army, and he's still giving back. That's the kind of humans. That's the kind of people that we need right now. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And if you want to get updates on when the next video pops, then just hit the bell, and then that way it'll alert you every time there's a new episode. I'll probably try to do at least one episode a week right now, because I'm going to school, going to work full time, and I got a family, got friends, stuff like that. So I got a lot of stuff going on. Plus, if you don't know, I'm also on Cass Ascendancy podcast every now and then. So I got a lot of stuff going on. Plus, it's hard to balance a news for their thing and news for my thing. So just trying to find out new subjects and not try to clash on our information that we're giving out. So check them out and subscribe to the Cass Ascendancy podcast and their Patreon. So check out the Patreon. There's a lot of good things coming up in the future, and you can't get good trainer for cheap. And you got 2 good trainers for pretty cheap price. So I'm just letting you know. Stay safe, take care of yourself. If you need help, get help, and free your mind.